or someone in his direction. But the venom and the anger and the falsehoods in the White House statement suggest that, no, he's probably not the source.
That is the reporter who broke the story, who had Donald Trump's tax returns in his mailbox, on with Rachel Maddow on MSNBC last night. Let's go to the White House. Karen Travers, never a dull moment for ABC News White House correspondent. Good morning, Karen.
It certainly isn't. Just when you think you can go to sleep and stop looking at your email, something like this comes out last night.
All right. First, let's start with, because everyone is convinced that Donald Trump himself released these tax returns. What's the White House saying?
Well, the White House certainly wasn't denying the numbers in this last night. There was a statement from the White House given to reporters on background that confirmed those top-line numbers, that he paid $38 million in taxes on an income of about $150 million. So that was not disputed by the White House. But then this morning, the president was tweeting and calling the whole reporting last night and the documents into question and calling it fake news, which certainly contradicts what the White House was confirming last night. But those are the numbers: $38 million in federal taxes, income of more than $150 million. But interestingly, the two-page document that was released last night by this independent reporter, on the second page, the words "client copy" were stamped. So that's, of course, raising questions of where this came from. David K. Johnston said it was delivered anonymously to his mailbox. Last night, he was speculating that perhaps Trump was the source, but this morning saying he doesn't think that's true. So we'll see. All
right, let's talk about the American Health Care Act. Where does that stand? It seems like more and more people are piling on, criticizing it each day.
Yeah, you're starting to see Republican House members more publicly saying they're not going to vote for this. And, you know, they're trying to say that there could be some negotiation in order to get this across the finish line. But I got to say, there isn't like one thing that you could say, oh, if they tweak that, then it would guarantee they have the votes. Because when you tweak one thing to gain support, you're going to lose support from another faction of the Republicans. And it just shows what a challenging job Paul Ryan has with this. But on the other hand, they've had 7 years to come up with their plan to replace the Affordable Care Act, and they're still having difficulty among their own caucus. So,
they're also, Karen, they're also saying that, you know, the White House is saying, well, this is just an option and we can certainly negotiate, where Paul Ryan is saying take it or leave it.
Right, and that's where it's unclear even where they would sit down and start to have negotiations of like what is on the table right now. The White House the other day was indicating that the tax credits instead of the subsidies are not up for negotiation, but then what is? The Medicaid expansion could be up for negotiation because that's supposed to be rolled back starting in 2020. But then the White House was indicating that the president might want that rolled back earlier. And then what that means is that more people could be losing coverage even quicker. And that's where you start losing even more Republicans who right now are seeing that number from the CBO of 24 million who could lose coverage over a decade. That's concerning to lawmakers, not just Democrats, but Republicans too.
What's amazing to me is the amount of anger from Republicans about cutting the Medicaid expansion.
Yeah. It shows what an impact this has had in states. Take, for instance, Kentucky. You know, they had a massive expansion of this Medicaid program there. People who would not have qualified before for any type of insurance coverage now are able to get basic preventive care. I think the number I saw the other day was that 1 out of every 3 residents now qualifies for some part of this. If this gets scaled back, if the federal money is not there, the state cannot afford to keep paying for it as is. The state would go bankrupt, the governor says. So they need that federal money, and that's where it gets interesting. You have Republican senators from some red states saying, you know, you can't take this away. We're just going to have a massive problem with coverage.
So they ran against taking it away, and now they're in there saying, please don't take it away.
Or take it away, but not so much. Don't take it fully away. But then that's where then the conservatives are upset because this is a big price tag on this too.
Right. Don't take ours away. Take that guy's away, but don't take mine away.
That's the great thing of, you know, government health care is terrible, but don't you touch our Medicare.
Yeah. Karen, quickly, what's the story with the FBI? Are they going to announce what today about these Russia investigations?
We're not sure. There's some speculation that there might be confirmation from Jim Comey that there is an investigation, but we have not been able to confirm that yet.
All right, so we'll wait and see. And then weather, did Washington, D.C. dodge a bullet yesterday?
Yeah, we only got like 2 inches or so inside the city proper. There was more out in the suburbs, but I gotta tell you, 2 inches is enough here to make everybody hide for cover and panic and all sorts of chaos.
And you get lost on DuPont Circle. Karen Travers, ABC News.
Ah, you know the movie.
Karen Travers, ABC News White House correspondent. Have a good day, Karen. Thanks.
Thanks, you too.
6:56, Big 5.